We're doing things a little different this week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways. What's on the menu? You'll have to wait and see, so stick around. This is Wade, and I'm Angel, and this is Iris, and we are Pole House Black Pots Weekend Getaways, where we show you all things yummy to cook in cast iron as we visit different places.
We're doing a wonderful yeast bread, but to find out what it is, you gotta first watch this video. Okay, this weekend on our getaway, Angel and I are at the Montgomery County Old Thrashers Association's steam engine show. Now, I know we've showed you several steam engine shows in our channel before, because that's one of my passions. So we're not going to get into all the big details of all the different things you see around here at the steam engine show. So we're doing a little bit different part of the show this year. This year we're actually doing what they have. We got a local lady here called Pat Cornine. She does really good at Dutch oven cooking, and she has organized, her and some other people in the area, what they call a Dutch oven cooking contest, or a Dutch oven cook-off. So the idea of a Dutch oven cook-off usually contains 3 different recipes or 3 different dishes that each team has to partake in. Well, while we're here, Pat, this is Pat Cormick.
Yes, it is.
Nice to meet you again. Pat and I met years ago. We had a couple of Dutch oven get-togethers, and we came over here and helped you all when you all were doing demonstrations. You all have done a lot here for Dutch oven cooking in the Montgomery City area.
Irish soda bread, I think. We did a pumpkin. I think it was a pumpkin. Our dessert was pecan.
Okay, it's a quarter till 12 o'clock noon. So most of the dishes are already turned in over on the
This is a
judging table, and a couple more still, main dishes, and a couple of them are still cooking, but they have to be turned in before noon, the noon whistle, or they don't get to turn them in at all. So then they're gonna judge them, and then they're gonna dish them up, and we get to go through, pay $10, and sample and judge as participants and judges. So it'll ought to be some good, tasty food.
Those ought to be.
We have results for the one-pot meal. Well seasoned.
Meatballs.
For their meatballs. All right. For the bread division, for their multi-grain bread. And that was too many irons in the fire. Dessert. Ooh. Dessert. First place was the Dutch Oven Dudes with their zucchini cake.
Well, now that we know what we're cooking, hope you like that video. Or at least now that you know what was cooked, we're going to tell you what we're cooking today and for the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
We're going to do the winners. Well, actually the next 3 weeks, because we've got our choice of recipes that we like.
Yeah.
And the first one's going to be, drum roll please,
The Dutch oven multi-grain bread.
So we're going to mix it up and we'll get right back to you. Okay, one thing I have to caution you about breads, yeast breads especially, it's not like a quick bread. If you don't have a minimum from start to finish, don't even try to do this. It takes about 3 to 3.5 hours, depending on how cold it is, to do a yeast bread. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to start with the first part, which is mixing it up, okay? This recipe calls for 2 cups of milk. I'm using evaporated milk. They used real milk, as you probably would have already seen. I know there's not 2 cups total here of milk. There's 1 cup.
Should be about a cup and a half, isn't it?
That's about
That's kind of what we did always determine in the past anyway.
Okay. So there's a cup and a half. Now, it calls for 1/2 cup of water. But I'm going to put a whole cup of water to get my liquid right.
That evaporated milk is every bit as rich or more rich than whole milk, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's richer than whole
Yeah.
milk. Then I'm going to put...
More like half and half.
Honey, I forgot the oil in there. Would you run in there and get it for me?
Certainly will.
Thank you. Then I'm putting my 2 different kinds of sugar. My white sugar and my brown sugar. And I've never actually had a bread recipe
There you go, hon.
that called for brown sugar. I'm sure it'll make it yum-alicious.
You're gonna love it. I'm sorry you missed it.
And then, is it 3 tablespoons? They asked for canola oil. We didn't have any canola oil. So I'm just using plain old veggie oil.
Yeah, we found there's not much difference in canola, vegetable, and corn oil in flavor-wise, haven't we?
2, 3. Now this bread didn't call for any egg, which surprised me. Normally
Yeah,
there's
that's right.
egg in here.
I didn't think
And
about
it
that.
calls for 2 packages of active dry yeast, which usually equals 1 tablespoon.
A package is a tablespoon, isn't it, right?
2 packages is a tablespoon.
Oh, okay.
1 package is 1 tablespoon.
Okay.
No, 1 tablespoon is 2 packages. Say that right, Angel.
Okay.
So, and then 2 teaspoons of salt. Now wait, who did this recipe? Do you remember their
Yeah,
name?
Jim. Well, Jim baked it, but his wife Dawn, it's her deal. So they're kind of like us. A lot of the stuff, she mixes it up, especially breads, and he does a lot of baking. So
Wonder she cooks on the front porch like I do. Now, that's my dry ingredients. Mix it up pretty good, and you can see it's already
That's not your
starting
dry
to,
ingredients.
or my wet ingredients.
that's your wet ingredients.
You can see it's the yeast is already starting to work. So to that,
Because you didn't have anything in there cold. It was all room temperature.
all
wasn't it?
room temperature.
Including the milk.
Well, the yeast was a little
Yeah, because we keep
because
it.
we keep it in the freezer.
Yeah.
All right, to that I'm going to start off with, and this bowl's a little warm, 1/2 cup of rye flour.
Hence
I'm gonna
the
mix-
multi-grain that she said.
Well, I'm going to be interested to taste what this
You're gonna like
tastes
it, yeah. They were all 3 wonderful breads, but I have to say I did vote for this one. It stood out a little bit different.
And then
Then
a
the
cup
other
and a
2.
half of wheat flour.
Well, it's one thing about that. I knew we weren't gonna end up with anything bad tasting. That's for sure.
Now, the reason why I didn't mix those up with my white flour is you have to be very picky about how much flour you put in to begin with. They say, in every book I've ever read, you do about a cup at a time.
Yeah, they'll say X number of cups approximately, right?
It's usually 6 to 8 cups of flour.
Yeah, because everything is just a little bit, it's kind of like pie crust. It's never quite exactly the same amount of liquid and dry, so a lot of times you'll end up varying a little bit of the water or liquid, or in this case the white flour, right, to get the consistency that you want. Now, I don't remember, I wasn't there to see exactly what the consistency was, but you're going to go off of like you always do for, a yeast bread. It should be real close to being correct, won't it?
Well, it'll look really elastic. It'll bounce back.
Yeah. Yeah, just like any yeast bread, you work it the same way. How's it coming?
It's coming. Eventually, I'll have to use my hands, which they're clean. Okay, now, it's getting real thick now. The next time I add flour, I'm probably going to have to use my hands. Now, if you're wearing rings, this is where you need to take your rings
Especially
off.
diamond ring.
Yes.
Gets underneath them diamonds. It's not good.
Whoops.
You're up enough where you can start with your. Got to get in there with your hands now. That's
Yep.
where the technique comes in, doesn't it?
Yep.
Of kneading bread.
The old timers used to put it on the table and make a well. They put their dry ingredients or wet ingredients in
We're kind
there.
of folding it in, doesn't it? That's
Yeah.
basically what you're doing here.
Yep.
Folding it in until it becomes elastic and no longer sticky.
All right, I need the rest of that.
Alrighty. The rest of it?
Yep.
Okay. Look, it's going to be about the right amount.
Yep.
Now, I'm not for sure. I didn't ask Dawn for sure where she got this recipe, but I think the way it talks like it's one that she makes quite a bit.
Well, once you have a recipe you like, you usually stick with it.
Yeah.
And Wade, that blue lid, that blue plastic thing there, we're going to put over top of this.
Okay.
Most of the time, your recipes will say, put it in a new bowl, clean bowl that's been oiled. I don't do that.
Don't
I
really,
guess if you're a purist, you do it, but
but the way you've done yours all the time, you really never had to, have
never have.
you? So.
So if you could come put, wait a minute, right there is an iris hair that needs to go. See it there? Okay, put that over top of it.
Kind of hard to do one-handed.
Yes, it is. Now, the recipe says to let it raise till it's double. We will do that, and I will go wash my hands. But we're going to take it in and do it because it's a little hot out here. And we want it to raise, but about 80 degrees. 75
Not out in the
to
direct
80.
sunlight, do we?
75 to 80 degrees is what you really need to have it at. So, we'll be back. Okay, first rising is done. You see that, Wade?
Quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. About double.
Oh, it smells good.
Yes, it does. Now, this is what makes yeast breads a recipe in patience. If you're not patient, it won't come out.
Hey, while you're doing that, I'm going to go over here to this Dutch
Yep, I
oven,
need that sprayed.
and we're going to put a nice liberal amount of cooking spray
Now,
in the Dutch oven.
the lady that did this recipe, I'm probably doing it way different than she did. This is the way I've always done my breads. Whoops. Okay. Now, it won't cough up the bowl. Look at that.
One little spot was still stuck in there, hon.
Uh-huh. form it in your loaf. Put that over. Okay. Still just a wee bit sticky. Bet it'll be good. Now, Wade's gonna put the lid on that. And we're gonna let it raise at least another half hour. Wade,
Okay.
I have a question before you get
Yes.
started. Why would I have you put that Dutch oven in the shade?
Well, this being black, for one, and it being summertime, we didn't want an excessive amount of heat to finish the last rise.
Yeah,
we
because
just
it would
wanted
have
that
started cooking it, wouldn't
80 degrees, probably max best, you know.
it? Yes.
So we definitely didn't want to do that. So we're gonna check it. Should be good to bake,
Oh.
right? We hope.
Looky there, it's double.
It's good.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Now, you can smell that yeast working.
oh yeah.
Okay, now we're not 100% sure how this is going to work because we've never actually baked this bread. We're just going off of a recipe and what we learned from Dawn on kind of their technique. So we're going to try to, by the texture and the things, what it looks like, we're going to kind of cook it like we do our sourdough. So we're going to do about a 375 degree oven, which means with a deep 10-inch that we're using, and it's the same type of texture of bread it seems like as a sourdough, we're going to do, we're going to do 30 pieces, 10 on the bottom and 20 on top. So
Just like we do our sourdough bread.
So we don't know if it's going to work for sure, but we hope it does.
Never failed us before.
No. Okay, so, but like always, we do a ring around the bottom, and then on top, we do a full ring around the outside. Just like this. And then we'll do a nice healthy amount in the middle. That would be 10 on the bottom and 20 on top.
Now, do you think we're gonna have to replenish these coals?
We don't on the sourdough. So, and that takes about 40-45 minutes. So we're gonna try to kind of see if it works the same.
I think
So we're gonna probably go about a 15-minute and then rotate 15 more minute, and then at 30. I don't even think we need to check it at 30.
Nope.
Okay.
Just turn it.
So
I think you need to put, there's just a little bit of wind.
Probably wouldn't hurt, just to be on the safe side. Wind is never our friend when we're Dutch oven cooking, so put our wind guard up, go back inside, relax a little bit, let it Dutch oven do its thing. So see you in 15 minutes.
Okay, since we don't know this recipe as well as we do others, we're gonna check it.
It's a rotate time, we think, at 30 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate. We rotate it, looks like we do everything. Third of a turn the base one way, and then we'll do the lid, third of a turn the opposite,
Yeah, it does smell.
and then we'll give it a quick look and see if it might be done or not.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Does it feel like it's done?
Oh yeah, it's hollow. You
Okay.
hear that?
Okay.
That's done. I wouldn't put them briquettes back on there.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess what we're gonna do now, let me set this out here out of the way.
Like anything, it needs to rest.
Yeah.
So when you cut it, it's not gonna. It
Yeah.
doesn't crumble as bad as like a
Oh,
quick
yeah.
bread, but it still needs to rest. So we're gonna.
pull it out and put it on a wire rack
Yeah.
so it doesn't start sweating.
So
We're gonna do that, we're gonna rest a little bit, and then we'll together the same.
yeah.
So we'll be back.
On this channel, we show you yummy, delicious, and interesting things to cook in cast iron, most specifically Dutch ovens. Do you know we have a cookbook? It not only shows you great tips how to use your Dutch ovens, but it gives you our first 2 years of recipes. They're $20 with $6 shipping and handling. You can get those at Pole House Black Pots, P.O. Box 212, Fayette, Missouri 65248, or on Venmo.
Yes, in the Venmo, look up Pole House Black Pots on Venmo. Okay, it has been about 20 minutes,
Yeah,
or at least
about
maybe
that.
30 minutes since we've got it off, put it on a wire rack, and let it rest. So we're gonna get a good bread knife. See if we can slice off a nice.
And we both get Cook's End, right?
In this case we did. Let's see how the bottom turned out. Did it look good?
Yeah, nice and brown.
Nice and brown. Didn't get too done. That's good. Looks
Ooh,
beautiful.
it smells
doesn't
good too.
it? Look at that. Isn't it nice?
All right, you try it first.
I think we did it right.
All right, now it's my turn.
Good.
You know, I was kind of worried about it since it had rye flour in it. It tasted like pumpernickel, but I'm ready to put some butter and jelly on this.
And it's not much sweet, but just a little bit of sweet in it with
Yeah.
that brown sugar in it.
And it's
Beautiful,
good
isn't
stuff.
it?
Sorry, I took another bite. So,
All right, yeah. It's good. This is an excellent. I thought
thank
it was
you.
good.
Yeah, thank you. What were the people?
Yeah, we need to make a big thank you to Dawn, probably your recipe, and Jim for doing the baking on it. This is a wonderful bread recipe. Thank you for allowing us to film you and to giving us your recipe so we can try it and put this in our own repertoire. It's excellent bread.
Now, next week we're going to go on an adventure, but we're cooking two other things that are 2 or 3.
2, I think. Yeah.
2 other things that we saw at this cooking
Dutch oven,
contest.
yes.
So I was there, but I was not feeling very well. So you
She
don't
stayed
see
off
me.
camera. So yeah, and also we need to give a big thank you to Pat Corman for all your hard work in making this Dutch oven cook-off a great success. You all did a wonderful job organizing it, and thank you for allowing us to come over and take part in filming it, and it was fun. We got some good recipes out of it.
Yeah,
too.
we did. We've got them. You're going to see them.
Yeah.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, which is a like. Share us on Facebook or Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe. We're up to over 600 now.
Thank you all for
Thank you very much
subscribers.
for
Yes.
that. And we appreciate you watching. See you next week.
Yep. Bye, everybody.